Welcome to the first part in the series of Industry Experts. It's our chance to go and catch up with some of the biggest names in the e-mountain bike industry and get all the lowdown. So first stop is going to be here at Raceco Cycles, one of the biggest mountain bike and e-bike shops here in the UK, with a team that live and breathe e-mountain bikes. So I sat down with Paul Tett, who's the big boss man here at Raceco. He has a motocross and BMX background and over 20 years in the industry. We also have Rich Butters, who's business manager here at Raceco. Rich has done everything from trials, BMX, kayaking, and also spent some time on the spanners working with Kawasaki, but now his world is e-mountain bikes. What is the importance of buying your e-mountain bike from a dealer then instead of online?
I think main importance really is, being able to come in, touch the bike, actually see the colourways, because some of them are absolutely stunning. Obviously sized up on the bike, speak to someone that's really knowledgeable on the product. Just make sure you're buying the right bike for you really, and obviously, looking at even the next model of bike up maybe that you can maybe push your budget a little bit higher, and even look at other brands that maybe you didn't look at. It's a lot more personal. You can come in, look at all the other accessories that go with the bike as well.
Tell me about the warranty process then.
So the first part of any warranty process is confirming with the customer the issue. We will always try and problem solve over the phone usually, or on email, or often via social media, anything we can help with that may resolve the warranty issue, remotely to save a visit to store. Failing that, if we can't either diagnose or contribute to it remotely, we always ask the guys to come to store, and then we can begin, depending on brand, the actual process of elimination or diagnosis to then get the warranty done in an efficient way and hopefully get the rider back on the trails in a timely fashion.
How important would you say face-to-face purchases are over just ordering parts or a bike off of a website?
A lot of people say to us, really, they come in and they look at the the colour schemes. Certainly, both really. Specialised and high bike. Some people have looked at the bike online and then they've looked at it in person and they're like, wow, it looks completely different. Yeah. And it's certainly, like I say, especially do some beautiful colours, and you look at them on computer and it doesn't do any justice at all really. So like the pearlescent on the S-Works on the white, looking at it under the lights, it really, on the computer it just looks.
Will you give advice on durability and servicing of the bike and keep it all running well?
So the handover process with new bikes or used bikes is always a very important part. It's something we've really pushed and gone through, with customers to educate them better, so we can, continue building a great level of communication with the customer, and also so they can maintain their bike as well as possible. So we will go through simple do's and don'ts, the operation, and how to check things. We always have the bikes back, usually after 100 miles or thereabouts, to do our own full check over, which involves checking all the pivot bearings, spoke tension, and addressing any issues that the customer may have had, or handling issues, or any bits where the customer may want some advice. It gives us another chance to have a face-to-face talk with them and keep them and their bike going as well as it can be for what they need.
So I guess a big part of coming to a shop like Raceco must be the knowledge and the experience that you guys have of motors, batteries, displays, things like that, right?
Yeah, absolutely. We're working with these bikes day in, day out, so we really know the quirks of the bikes, really try and give the best information possible, really keep the rider out there riding. And
so here at Raceco you have a range of bikes of different travel, different colours. How important is that to the customer?
Yeah, as a store we try and offer the best. So the brands that we sell, we have full belief in that they are the leading brands in technology, specification, price, everything, and obviously backup. So we try and support our brands in the same way they support us. So you get a good experience when you come into store. You can, let's say, come speak to a specialist within that actual brand.
And sizing is also a key part, isn't it? So do you keep most sizes in stock here?
We do, yeah. We pride ourselves on carrying a lot of stock so that we can, serve everybody. So from right down extra small, right through to even some of the really big sizes that maybe the bike manufacturers don't produce many of. We'll generally keep them in stock so we can help everybody out. Different bike brands from one to the next, they all size bikes differently from different places of the bike. So certain bikes that you may think on paper is going to suit you, or the size that you may think you are, it's really important to come into store, sit on the bike, try it, because it can feel so differently in comparison to what you may think or advice online.
So how about backup in regards to the parts you keep in stock for replacements, like your turnaround time? Say for instance my bike broke on a Friday and I had a race on Sunday, what could you do for me?
So with backup and spares, we'd always like to think we are and always aim to be equipped for any eventuality. Certainly mainstream eventualities, things do break. It is an unfortunate part of the process, and not necessarily even just warranty issues. It could be potentially a user issue or a crash damage issue. We keep an extensive amount of parts, which has been a massive thing for us that we've built and learnt over the years that we need to do. Every new model we stock with up on the new parts, and obviously we try to identify first off things that will cross over, things that won't cross over, so we are always covered. For turnaround, we always aim to keep it as short as possible, and a lot will depend, if the customer is making a special journey from 100 miles away and it's doable, we will always try and do it while they wait or go and grab some dinner or a coffee in our local area, so we can get them back out. As for people who are in a special need, or they've had a race, that they really haven't, they've had some unfortunate luck, we always will try and go an extra mile for that. Sometimes it's doable, sometimes it's not. It's not been unheard of to be here a couple of hours before we open or a couple of hours after we've closed, just trying to get people back on the road. We're all riders here ourselves, and it's very important, and we treat our customers the way we would like to be treated.
And keeping bikes going in terms of maintenance, that's something you can do here at the shop pretty easily, I guess.
Yeah, we do a lot of service and maintenance work. It's been obviously a challenge over the last couple of years to keep a lot of the consumable parts in stock, certainly with certain drive chains, been harder to get at different times. We've always stocked very large amounts of stuff to try and ensure we don't run out, and we monitor consistently the stock levels that we have to make sure everyone can be riding. We try to, in with that, educate the customer on getting the best from the components that they're running as well. From something as simple as a brake pad and choosing the right compound of pad, to making sure obviously their drive chain's kept clean, lubed.
So you guys must have deep knowledge of your brands that you stock, future bike releases on the horizon, things like that as well?
So we're given, occasionally we are given insight into future products, more from a stocking perspective than from an actual, when, dates, everything. We obviously, when you're investing into huge amounts of stock like we do with the e-bikes and on bikes that are moving so fast for the future, and the real arms races out there at the moment with it, it is imperative we get a brief insight into things, and it helps us then to plan future ranges and plan what's coming for the future.
And the great thing about Raceco is it's easy to access. You've got great parking here, toilets, coffee machine. I mean, what more could you want?
Well, it is a pretty awesome place to come. We've learned and developed from our own, within the own business for the last 20 years, and 5 premises that we've had before. Everything's been lacking in some respects, parking or, lack of space. This time with the new building, we've really pushed it to have and be designed for us and exactly what we need. The only thing I think we're still lacking is the coffee machine, Steve. So it's on order, I'm told.
So there you go, great to catch up with Paul and Rich, and it seems to me it's definitely worth coming to the bike shop to come and purchase your e-bike rather than buying them online. But get involved down in the comments box down below about whether you bought your bike from a shop such as Raceco or you bought online, and what were the downfalls or possibly the best bits of buying it online. Get involved, give us a thumbs up if you've enjoyed it. Make sure you subscribe to us here on EMBN, and make sure you order your tickets for the Global Bike Festival to come out on the hills and a beer with me and Steve.